to Lead from the Front, Season 2, Episode 2. We're here with Amber Byrd at Bird's Eye Photo Productions, and we're here to talk about Amber's business and what she's got going on here in the city of Toledo. Amber, tell us a little bit about your business and who you serve and some of the things that you offer.
Okay, so primarily right now I'm a photographer. I've been a photographer since 2012, and we're actually here in the building where my studio is. I've had a studio since 2015, so I'm a full-time photographer. I do a lot of different types of photography, but some of my favorite genres is weddings, boudoir, and branding. So I do a lot of that, but I also do seniors and portraits, newborns, and I do a lot of events, corporate events and private events.
Right. So I've been seeing a lot of the weddings. Actually did my brother's wedding. Yeah. That was excellent.
Thank you.
So I've been seeing a lot of the wedding stuff, the senior stuff, but you mentioned branding, which is huge now.
Yes.
You know, for companies. Actually, I know a bunch of companies that have worked with you. We've worked with you. And you do an excellent job. Can you speak a little bit about the branding, seeing how that's the thing right now? Like, you cannot run a company without having the branding aspect.
Right. So I went through a lot of branding challenges when I first started, partially because of my name and other photographers that have a very similar name to mine. So branding was always in the forefront. When I first started, of making sure people knew it was a bird's eye photo, because a lot of people call me a bird's eye view.
I've heard that.
and some people assumed that I was somebody else, so I wanted to make sure. I did a lot of research on that, and my background is in business and administration, so I always wanted to merge the two together, the creative side with the administration side of things. And so I wanted to do that for other people, and that's why I really started doing branding, trying to help people figure out, like, what do you want your company, how do you want to represent your company online especially, but also in print, thinking about the colors and, you know, how you want people to think about you when you're not in the room.
Yeah, I think it's huge now. People, you know, you have to, when you see a company or a logo, not just a logo, but a company, you have to understand what it is.
Right.
And branding is exactly that, and you do a good job of that. You talked about it being a little challenging, you know. Can you speak on just the business side and some of the challenges that you've had to get through to get to where you are?
So I guess I would start with the fact that I was working full time, and when I started this business, and it kind of took off. I wasn't expecting it to take off that fast, and it got to a point where I was like having to choose between my full-time career position and doing photography, and it just kind of fell into a spot where I felt like, you know, I want to try this. I've always wanted to own my own business. But I wasn't expecting, when I ended up quitting my job to do this full time, but I thought, I quit in July, I thought I would have the winter to kind of, ramp up, figure out what I wanted to do. Well, someone ended up gifting me a studio in October. So I never really had time to hash everything out that I wanted to. So it's kind of been like learning as you go, you know, put you in the fire.
I mean, that's how you learn. I mean, that's one of the things that we always bring that up on this show, because the show is here to basically tell people that, look, you can do these things. Everybody has these adversities. It's just how you keep pushing forward. I mean, you really didn't have a plan at first. You kind of just do, and then you figure out how things work out. That's really huge, and I think that's the perfect example of what we're talking about here, leading from the front.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff I had already kind of prepared for. I just didn't know I was going to have to use it that fast. And even what's going on now is really helpful that I've had kind of planned. I try to plan 2 to 3 months in advance. So even though I lost a whole lot of business this month due to the pandemic, I'm okay right now because I try to set things up so that I'm always, you know, good. At least for a couple months.
And you know, with this happening, like, you know, this pandemic we're dealing with, it gives you a chance to be innovative. It gives you a chance to kind of put some stuff in place that, you know, maybe you can use, you know, when we go back to normal. Virtual stuff, you know, stuff that people hadn't necessarily thought about, that maybe it could be another way to you know, scale your business a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah. Depending on how long
yeah.
we're off, I definitely plan on putting. I've always wanted to do an online books, a tutorial. I'm really big on teaching people how to be their own business and working media and photography
Right.
into that.
Right.
So I would like to do that. Hopefully, I get enough time. But honestly, as a business owner, I just been like, I could sit down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know,
Usually I
the
can't.
time is we kind of got to use this time as a positive thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're at a space now where everybody is doing everything, you know, with cell phones and stuff like that, and, you know, and believing that they can kind of just do it on their own. And I mean, the cell phones are great, but are there big differences between, you know, photography and just being able to do this stuff on your own?
The biggest difference is usually for print. If you need to print it, then you need to have something that's going to, not because it can't print big, the phone, but you can't do the manual settings the same unless you are a photographer and know how to use the manual settings on the phone. Even still, it just, that grain and stuff, you just can't get that. Now, I do teach a photography for small business owners that want to use their phone for certain things. So certain things, no matter what camera you have, if you have the right lighting and the right angles, you're going to be able to get a decent picture. But if you want to print that photo or if you want to blow it up big, it's just not going to be the same. Even with transmitting the information, a lot of times people don't know how to do it properly so that they can use the image the way they really need to use it.
And in this digital era, everything's digital, everything's right now. What are some of the advantages of print? Because there's several. I mean, for me, I'm just thinking about, you know, relatives passing and then having that actual photo. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a real big thing for me, is having something that you can print and not have to pull off Facebook. So many people, they like love the picture from Facebook, but by the time you upload it to Facebook and then re-download it to your phone and try to print it, that quality is so, you know, not the same. And then also, one thing that really struck me about print is I was at a conference last year and they were talking about, do your grandkids that are too young to be on Facebook, can they see those pictures that you're posting, and will you still have them when they're grown and when you're gone? So many people lose their phones. They don't know how to upload to the cloud to be able to keep those memories. And so that's why it's really important for me. Like, a lot of times people come to me like, I just want the digitals. And I'm like, let me at least give you one print. One print that you, because that's generational thing. And that's what we used to do back in the day to, you know, keep ourselves on record, because nobody else was recording us. And that's another thing that's big for my business too, is I want to record us in the light that we want to be recorded, not what, you know, the media would have us to believe.
I mean, I think that's big. So you offer a ton. I mean, we just mentioned a bunch of different services that you offer.
I'm at 3613 Monroe Street inside the Monroe Methodist Community Center. My studio's in the basement. And you can find me on social media anywhere under a bird's eye photo. I have like 10 different pages, but depending on what kind of photography people are looking for. So usually I just say, if you use the @ a bird's eye photo, which is kind of built off my name. So it's ABYRDSEYE photo. You can find me. That's my website. That's my email address. That's everything.
Yeah, so you just said it. Like, you got all kinds of things that you offer. And all of the things that they're all right there. You got the address, you got the web address. Hit her up if you need any of those things. Trust me, we work with her with Lead from the Front. We're going to do some work with her with Three Kings Clothing. So Amber, it was great having you here.
Thank
but
you.
Before I forget, I always got to do this. We got tradition here.
Okay.
I got a little bit of a gift bag for you.
Thank you.
A Lead from the Front bag for you. It's got a couple goodies in there. So we just wanted to make sure that we got that to you.
And
we appreciate having you at Lead from the Front.
Gold too.
Yeah.
I have another one of your shirts that's gold. The one with the lion on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
In 3, 2. Welcome back to Lead from the Front, Season 2, Episode 2. Today we're here with Amber Miller.
Let's do that. That's cool.
It's okay.
You just told me that.
I know.
No.
And I was
But
like,
you know
why?
what? I'm just used to saying Amber Miller, and then I'd be like, Amber Byrd. Welcome back to Lead from the Front, Episode 2, Season 2. We're here with Amber Byrd from A Bird's Eye View Photography.
for a bird's eye photo.
A bird's eye photo.
Photo. A bird's
A
eye
bird's
photo.
eye photo. Where am I getting bird's eye view at?
Everybody says that.
I hope I ain't write that somewhere.
3, 2.
Welcome back to Lead from the Front, Season 2, Episode 2. We're here with Amber Miller at a bird's eye view photo. I'm so mad. It's tongue-tying me. It's tongue-tying me, man. Like,
Amber
a bird's eye photo. A bird's eye photo. A bird's eye photo. Come on. So glad I got time.